State of New California notice to all Californians, Chapter 2, Grievance 27, October 27, 2020. New California is a new state in development exercising its constitutional right to form from the state of California. The process to form the New California is authorized and codified in Article 4, Section 3 and 4 of the United States Constitution. Statement of intent. The citizens of New California have decided to remedy the abuse of power by the government of California by exercising their right to form a new state provided in the United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 3 and 4. We are determined to live under a state government in the United States of America and under the Constitution of the United States. New California Declaration of Independence of January 15, 2018 states, whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute a new government. When a long train of abuses and acts to seize and hold the people's power without legal authority and pursuing invariably the same object that clearly demonstrates a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is the right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. The preamble of the New California State Constitution states, we, the representatives of the undersigned counties of the state of California, to acknowledge and humbly invoke the favor of Almighty God for the continued civil and religious liberty to ourselves and our prosperity. First Amendment of the United States Constitution states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for redress and grievances. Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches, seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath of affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue upon probable cause, supported by oath of affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be secured and the persons or things to be seized. The counties of New California State brought forward 95 Chapter 1 grievances between January 2018 and November 2019. Beginning on April 28, 2020, New California will issue 95 additional Chapter 2 grievances to be announced in public on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. or at 1 p.m. depending on the county. State of New California, Chapter 2, Grievance 27, Declaration of Grievance, Statement of Facts. The people of California are suffering from a tyrannical state government which fails to provide a Republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence upon the citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a mono-party system led by a tyrannical dictator who openly defies federal law. California state government is in direct violation of the following. The United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of the legislature or the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. The United States Constitution, Article 6. This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. First Amendment. The United States Constitution, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition a government for redress or grievances. Eighth Amendment, United States Constitution, excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. 14th Amendment, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, and property without the due process of law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protections of the laws. Refer to sections 2, 3, 4, and 5. Order of the day, no bailout. We, the people of the unified counties of New California, seek the removal of the California state governor. We are determined to stop the one-man rule of a pusillanimous, craven dictator whose words and actions are a grave danger to all citizens living in California. California is in its 8th month of the direct dictator's ordered lockdown under COVID-19 pandemic with no apparent end in sight. Last week, the governor was taken to court to end the tyranny being foisted upon the citizens of the United States living in California state. There is yet to be a decision rendered by the court, even though there was one indicated by the judge in a couple of days. Assembly member Kevin Kiley wrote after the trial, "Our trial against the Governor Newsom has just concluded, and the judge said she will issue a ruling in very short order. That probably means by the end of the week." Kiley and Gallagher argued that California's Constitution has an explicit separation of powers provision, which Governor Newsom has violated. A California governor is constitutionally forbidden from doing the very thing Governor Newsom has done here, exercise legislative power. I'm not sure that the governor's attorneys really provided any legal argument to defend his conduct, he said, so I hope it will be an important moment for our state in putting an end to this idea that we can have an autocracy for 8 months with no end in sight. With no decision by the court, there is another delay, which translates into the tyranny of one-man rule continues. Given the behavior of the judge during the trial, this should not be a surprise. It was clear the judge had no grasp of the constitutional argument being laid down by Assembly members James Gallagher and Kevin Kiley. The judge appeared by those in the court and those watching on Facebook to be straining for understanding the constitutional basis of separation of powers. After 9 months of dictatorial rule, there is an additional delay by a California judge. Delay for the governor is good. The governor remains in power by way of the Emergency Services Act, and he is able to continue the distraction away from California's real problem, insolvency, an issue that will destroy California. In May 2020, New California State reported California had a cash deficit of $85 billion. The California Legislative Analysis Office agreed. Today, the deficit number has grown to $120 billion. The governor is doing nothing but keeping businesses and communities closed. It appears the governor's only hope is with his auntie's attempt to get a federal bailout. In the past, California was able to get bailouts when it filed bankruptcy in 1935. In 2000, it had a $14 billion cash deficit, and in 2010, a $42 billion cash deficit. Those bailouts were from Democratic administrations. In 2020, there's a new Republican administration, and it sees California cash deficits differently, as recent posts on Twitter have revealed. President Donald Trump on Wednesday said he didn't see any way Democrats and Republicans would agree on a deal for coronavirus relief, despite House Speaker Nancy Pelosi remaining optimistic about finalizing the stimulus package before Election Day. In a tweet Wednesday, he tried to pin the blame for a deadlock in spending discussions on Pelosi and State Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Pelosi is promising a $2.2 trillion package, while the Trump administration is offering $1.88 trillion, though Trump has said he'd like an even bigger deal than what Pelosi has offered. Just don't see any way Nancy Pelosi and crying Chuck Schumer will be willing to do what is right for the American workers or our wonderful USA itself on stimulus, the president posted on Twitter. Their primary focus is bailing out poorly run, high-crime Democratic cities and states, he said. This most likely refers to the money Democrats want for state and local governments, which have seen tax revenues plummet as economic activity slowed during the pandemic. New Californians know the President of the United States will be distracted. Today, the California governor's words and actions are a grave danger to U.S. citizens living in California while the state continues to operate outside the authorities of the U.S. Constitution. For New California, it's our God-given right, it is our duty to protect our Declaration of Independence, our Constitution, and our Bill of Rights with all means necessary from a craven dictator. New Californians will not comply. We request the President of the United States act immediately to remedy these abuses by the California state and declare a state of insurrection exist in California. Insurrection. The government of California, the current socialist governor, and monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the U.S. Constitution. The Insurrection Act of 1807 and the Emergency Economic Powers Act are United States federal laws that govern the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to put down lawlessness, insurrection, and rebellion. Acts of secession. Therefore, the California government, in conjunction with a socialist state governor dictator, has usurped the power and has actively engaged in acts of succession and created a reign of terror on the United States citizens living in California with the intent to secede from the United States of America and thus destroy the very union of states which secures our liberty and freedom. Abdication of authority. Betrayal by the sitting socialist governor of California, the monoparty legislature, and local elected officials is evidence of abdication of the responsibilities of authority and sovereignty over the citizens of the United States living in California. Prayer. The citizens of New California state pray for the President to exercise his authority under the Insurrection Act of 1807 or the Emergency Powers Act to end the tyranny being foisted upon the United States citizens living in California. This includes these proceedings.